Hello and welcome. Oh, hang on. My phone alarm's going off. Oh, it's the dark hour. Welcome to the dark hour. Summer school begins today, and it's August 10th. It's the first day of summer school. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has increased. Oh, finally I'm smart. God. Is that it? Just pours a bunch of academics into me? Oh, alright. This seems to be doing these extended, so I'm gonna do this as a long video. Second day of summer school. I know it's hot, everyone, but let's just try and get through class. Focus pocus! You must all be very curious students to be taking this course over the summer. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Hee. Let's talk about something interesting today. All you future magicians want to pay close attention. Hee. Today's subject is tarot. Right, this is going to be plot significant. That's right, those cards often used in fortune telling. Originating in 15th century Europe as normal playing cards, tarot cards evolved into tools of divination. A variety of different versions of tarot card decks exist, including the Marseille and Rider decks. But today, in respect of the great magician Crowley, we'll be using the Tot deck. First, let's talk about the composition of the deck. The modern 78-card tarot is divided into two parts. There are 22 major arcana, the face cards, and 56 minor arcana, or number cards. The minor arcana are sometimes also called pips. The major arcana feature a variety of illustrations on their faces, beginning with the Fool and ending with the World. They tell a story in numerical order that is a metaphor of an individual's journey through life. Each major arcana represents a stage on that journey, an experience the individual must incorporate to realize his oneness. They're all important, so let's take a look at each of the 22 cards one by one. The first card, numbered 0, is the Fool. It represents the beginning and suggests infinite possibilities. The next card, the Magician, represents action and initiative, but also immaturity. That's Kenji, alright. The Priestess represents contemplation and inner knowledge. I believe that's, oh, that's Fuka. Yeah, that makes sense. The Empress represents motherhood and the life it brings forth. I think that's Mitsuru. The Emperor is an opposing card. It represents fathering, relates to leadership and decision-making skills, and also fascism, apparently. The Hierophant represents formality and knowledge. It stands for religion. So it doesn't make any sense for the old couple. The Lover's card represents choice. Here, the individual's consciousness has finally surfaced. The Chariot represents victory for the individual, but only a momentary one. Oh, that makes sense with his injuries. Justice represents the knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. Chihiro. The Hermit represents the individual's search for answers by looking inward, deep inside his heart. I guess that kind of fits the MMO, but not really. Fortune represents fate and the opportunities that come with it. I don't think we've gotten far enough into the Art Club one to say much about that. Strength represents both passion and self-control. It is depicted as power with reason. Sure, that fits Yuko. The Hangman reflects the individual's inability to take action. Okay, so the little girl is, like, kind of stuck between these two within the parents' divorce, and there's really not much she can do. Spiritual death awaits the individual with the 13th card, which is aptly named Death. Death is considered a transitional card. The old ends and the new begins. Makes sense for Pharos. Now let us continue along the path, following the transition. Temperance is the balancing of opposites. Opening his eyes to the world allows the individual to grow. That's our German Verb. Opening his eyes to the world, sure. And as the devil represents, he then faces temptation. That's definitely Danica. At the tower, his values collapse on him. It seems as if he no longer has anything to believe in. It seems like a harsh way to read the monk, but okay. But then he finds a glimmer of hope, represented by the star, and he's suffused with a serene calm. That's the runner we haven't met yet. This bliss makes him vulnerable to the illusions of the moon. Is the Gourmet King really about being vulnerable to illusions? Fears arise and he follows the dim path in his heart with trepidation. But he's rewarded with a bright future represented by the sun, which signifies true achievement. We haven't met the sun. Judgment awaits the individual at the end of his journey as he looks back on the path he has traveled. Have we met Judgment? Oh no, that's Chihiro. Who's the... I don't remember. Judgment's Chihiro. I don't remember who the other one was. The final card is the World, which represents the individual's full awareness of his place in the world. That is the growth of an individual as explained by the tarot cards. Perhaps all this talk about life hasn't done with you young folks yet. Now you can use all 78 cards to divine the future in detail, but most people only use the 22 major arcana. Okay, next let's talk about how to tell fortunes using the major arcana. First, you'll need to shuffle the cards. If a card is reversed, you're really going into detail on this. Its meaning will change, so it's important, the class continues. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Your academics has increased. That's a lot of information. I think I'm going to make a separate video that's just about that. Third day of summer school. Despite the heat, the lecture continues. Academics. The lecture continues. Academics. Fifth day of summer school. Now let's begin. Yode Vahe. How are you all handling the heat? I could brew you some of my special tea if you like. Now let's continue with our special summer study, The Truth Behind Magic. I'll be talking about Kabbalah. I assume all of you at least heard of Kabbalah, yes? It is known as the mystical study of the Hebrew scriptures, but as I mentioned before, it has had a great impact on Western society. It has been said that to learn the secrets of magic, first you must truly understand Kabbalah. So who was the person who formed this incredible ideology known as Kabbalah? Well, according to legend, it was Moses. Yes, that Moses, the Moses who gave us the 10 Commandments and split the Red Sea. Moses is not a persona you can get. Actually, I guess neither are any of the biblical characters. Except the angels. Yes, that Moses, the Moses who gave us the 10 Commandments and split the Red Sea, but in reality it was formulated by a group of rabbis long ago. However, because it consists of such a complicated coded system, Kabbalah did not become known to the Western world until much later. Now, it is important to note there are many different ancient methods of deciphering Kabbalah. For example, there is Gematria, the interpretation of text by replacing letters with the numbers they represent. There is Notarikon, where you take a letter from each word to form another sentence or thought. There's also Temura, a method where the letters of the words are replaced, thereby giving the sentence a new meaning. All these different methods make it difficult to completely comprehend Kabbalah. Now, one of the most important ideas of Kabbalah is the Tree of Life, formed of the 10 Sephirot. Most illustrations depict it as a chart, shaped like a tree. The 10 stages represented by the Sephirot, and the 22 paths connecting them represent the stages of creation God formed from his own self, as well as the direction in which humanity should evolve. Where did we come from? Where are we going? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? These answers lie in the Sephirot. When training your magic, it's important to picture the Sephirot every so often. And when you're meditating, you should focus on the Sephirot as well. If life was a test, the Sephirot would be the basic questions. All aspiring magicians should know them. So if you're looking for inspiration, try your hand at the Sephirot. By the way, did you notice I said there were 22 paths? Yes, that's right, the same number as the major arcana I spoke about earlier. Now continue on. According to the Sephirot, the world's broken up into 4 stages. The class continues despite the heat. Oh, before I forget, I'll be giving supplementary lessons in the nurse's office starting in the 2nd term. I'm thinking of doing demonstrations using tarot cards, but I won't have time for that during the lecture. If you're interested, stop by after school. That's important. I wonder if that takes time. Everyone's welcome. Academics. Last day of summer school. Despite the heat, academics increase. Alright. I'm gonna save it here, and then I'm going to stop this until the 15th. Because as I talk to you, it is still the 10th. So I'll see you in 5 days. And everybody, see you next week.